Welcome back to another episode of the PokeStop Podcast, your favorite Pokemon podcast. My name is Zach Pra, as always, joined by my wonderful co-host, Thad Wayne. Thad, how are you doing?
Zach, I'm doing just great. Just
That's good.
playing the Pokemon trading card game. Cannot wait to hear what you have to say on today's episode after your trip to Milwaukee.
Oh, buddy boy, y'all gonna want to lock in for this one. I'm gonna be honest. I have many thoughts over my experience playing in the Milwaukee Pokemon Regional Championships. But before we get there, I was really sick actually. The week leading up to that, I had to get a wisdom tooth pulled like a week before Milwaukee happened. So like I could not really practice. So I literally was like texting people like, "What's your Gengo list? Like, just give me the list. I understand how to play this deck. Like, let me see if I can sneak into like a day two with just like a really good list." And I kind of had one like, so I actually was talking with Austin Charles, who used to play in our area, before he got tired of losing to Bolt and went back to Dayton. That's definitely what happened. And if he tells you otherwise, he's lying to you. You can trust me. I'm a Bolt player, so I would never lie to you. We were actually talking, and like he sent me like the Mega Lucario thing, and I was like thinking about it, and I'm like driving to Milwaukee. I'm like driving like through Illinois, and I'm just like, are we lost in the sauce? And like my first impression was like, this is so bad. Like this is actually the worst thing you could ever do. And then like I'm like thinking about it, and I'm like, wait, that's our cornerstone out. And like from that alone, especially because like this was like also like the Tord box was everywhere on ladder, and like the conversation changed to how much Guardian you expect and how much like Absol do you expect. So like the more I thought about it, the more I was like, okay, this could actually be a thing. And I had someone in the car, like I was like, hey, grab my bag, see if I have a Mega Lucario. And they're like, why do you need a Mega Lucario? I was like, oh, I think it's spiking in price. And I'm like, I'm not telling anyone, because I'm like, Austin was like, don't tell anybody. And I'm like, my lips are sealed, brother. So like I thought about it, and like my thought was like my intention was like, okay, we're gonna get to the room, we're gonna get checked in, gonna do everything. I'm gonna play like 4 or 5 games with this. Let me just like get a couple games, see the feel for it. Like, does this really change the deck that much? Which I don't think it does, because it's just like a 1/1 line.
Yeah.
And he sent me his list, and I was just like, you know what? I have not had enough time with this to feel comfortable to take this into a major. Like, I think I'm good. I don't think I'm that good. I don't think I'm good enough to like just take someone's deck and do well.
Fair.
Like I think there's very few players who can actually do that very well. Like I think it's like probably less than 1% of the community can do that. And like I'm just not there, and I'm honest about me not being there. And like I wish I was. That'd be lit. Like that'd be fire. If I could just like grab someone's deck and do well with it. Like that'd be wonderful. I think most people are gonna be like, oh, I could definitely do that. And I'm like, all right, where's your limitless page, man? Like show me show me the day twos, man. And I'm like, oh, okay, enjoy your
show me the top
cup, brother.
Show me your top 32s. I don't want to see day twos anymore. I want to see top 32s.
Honestly, yeah. Like, and we were having this conversation before. Like, at what point do we stop like counting like top 250, like anything? I think it's like it's getting to the point to where like anything below like a top 256, I don't know if I can like, even as me, like the person with that finish, right? Like if I get like 310th, am I flexing that? Like that just doesn't really feel like a flex anymore. Because like I'm getting the same amount of points and product as someone who did like one of our locals. This was his first regional. He went 5-3. He got top 512. Like, and like, he's a dude who like, he's a very casual Pokemon player. Like he is just a guy who like really likes Pokemon, just like enjoys playing the game, and like literally was going to play whatever I gave him until probably 36 hours before round 1 started. And like he ended up playing Ceruledge, which I think was actually a pretty good play for the tournament. It was
the most popular play.
It was. I also don't agree. I think that is manipulated. Also,
okay.
Like,
it depends on how specific you want to get with archetypes, but yes,
I don't think you should be very specific. I think the way like Limitless Labs does it is correct. The way they did it, Like I think splitting up Goldango is generally not fair.
Because I think you 100% should split Goldango by Rocks and Joltik. 100%.
Oh, yeah. I agree with that. No, I'm saying like Wonderkiss Goldango versus like Rocks Goldango. I'm gonna be honest. We're playing the same game.
That's really tough because you're not playing the same game.
I think we're playing the same game.
You have no single prize attackers in that game.
Yeah, but we're still drawing a shit ton of cards and counting by 5.
I mean, at its core, sure, but then you're doing the same thing as Raging Bolt just by 5s. And like, where do you draw the line?
Why you gotta hurt me by saying Raging Bolt? That's crazy.
I'm just using an example of where you have to discard energy from somewhere to do damage to something in the active. Like all the lines are arbitrary. I would say they're both aggressive, more so than like they're aggressive in the same functional way.
I view Goldango Joltik as its own thing. But I would view like ESP Goldango and like Dango Rocks as the same deck functionally.
I mean, for me, it's tough. I
think separating them on like a meta share chart to show what the most popular decks were this weekend, it's kind of disingenuous in my opinion to split that up. And I have the same opinion with like Guardy and Jelly Guardy. But I think you have a better case for splitting those two up just because I think Jelly Guardy is it's a much slower deck. It's more around like the Devo and just like not letting your opponent play the game. Whereas like the standard Gardevoir is just a foot on gas, don't let it up.
Yeah.
Like similar to like the list like Abonomed played with like the Enamorous, which was also crazy.
Yeah, that's something you can do.
Seeing that was like, I was like, what? That's insane.
Dude, seeing United Wings go 1-2 drop.
Beautiful.
But
I think Charizard was the most popular play. I do also think Sterilage was a good play. So like I don't want to be like I don't want to be intentionally obtuse in that way. But they were very close. There were 206 Charizard Pidgeot decks, and this is according to Limitless. There were 204 Sterilage. So like, we're neck and neck.
I mean, I think the only distinctive difference that the stream made between Charizard Pidgeot decks and not Charizard Pidgeot decks were the inclusion of Dusknoir or no Dusknoir.
I don't know how you don't play Dusknoir. I just think Dusknoir is so good in that deck.
I mean, the 24th place did not play Dusknoir.
I don't know how. Oh, it's Evan Pavelski. Yeah, because he's fucking better. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's that he played the same list as I think Caleb Gettimer and somebody else in that testing group. I think that was also going to be the play for Azul if he was going to play. So
yeah,
there's that information for you.
No, I haven't really played with the non-Dusknoir variant. But I have played with the Jackson Ford list, and that list is so fun. As like someone who does not play evolution decks, that is a very fun deck to play.
It is all gas.
He did a very good job with that. I think the Klefki is actually evil.
Klefki just shuts down so much stuff.
It just, especially if you go first, like just being able to like, play a Poffin, do a couple things, and then attach retreat into Klefki Pass, and be like, enjoy that lunar cycle, enjoy that fan Rotom.
Or just like Klefki
Squawk.
Like Jet Klefki Turbo Evolution or TM Evolution.
Yeah. That's also insanely good.
Yeah. Klefki active, ready to retreat into something else. So good.
Yeah. It's also not a terrible attack. Just to be able to like discard tools. Like if they just like
I mean, they're gonna
research and they're just like throw on the Hero's Cape, throw on the Max Belt. just like because it's like a use it or lose it kind of scenario. Like being able to be like, bye bye. Like it's just so strong. It's so strong in my opinion right now. Yeah, but I think Milwaukee overall, just to kind of give my thoughts on the event as like of the two of us, the person who was able to attend. I thought the actual event staff, the judges, the people running the day-to-day round-to-round operations of that event, I think it was run very well. I think they did a phenomenal job. I think rounds for the most part were pretty smooth. Like there wasn't a ton of time kind of like in between the rounds. But Thad, we had some things that happened before round one started.
We definitely did.
But before we get there, there is one other thing I wanted to mention. There were a lot of people who caught round one losses. And I actually, one of our locals, Tyler Price, he fell into this issue. And I actually asked him about this. And he said, from what he told me, he submitted his list, got the deck list submission is approved, and then got the round one loss Saturday. And kind of the gist of what I think he was told, which I also like, I don't want to speak for him. But it sounds like he was basically told like, oh, well, which like, if I'm paying $80 for an entry to a tournament and it's not my fault that you don't have my list and I did not get paired, that's on you, man. Like we should be publishing. Why are we not publishing the roster at 8:00 or like 7:30 and being like, hey, if there's an issue and you're not on the roster, come to the Hive. Let's get this figured out before like 8:15. And then we can pair everything at 8:15, announce our pairings. Everyone gets to their seats. We got this thing rolling. Make sure everyone's in. You know, why are we not making that announcement?
It is strange that they don't post like a roster like on RK9.
Yeah, you have to like kind of work, like you have to really hunt it down. I believe you can pull up the roster, but like if I submit my list, it up
once one round begins.
I think you're right. Actually, I think it just shows who paid to enter the event. It doesn't show like I'm in the like I'm signed like list. You know, it doesn't show like how like limitless when you sign up for like a Mickey. It shows like check-in question mark or like the check mark or the X and then list submitted check marker X. We don't have that, which I think would be really helpful if RK9 could do that. But also like I really don't like shitting on RK9 because RK9 is genuinely like one of the best things in our community. Like as far as like events running smoothly.
Huge kudos to RK9.
Yeah, like they do a phenomenal job. And like
they added on device reporting for day 2.
Yeah, I saw that. And I think I didn't see anyone complaining about it, which is good. I think really the only complaint I got was like the servers are slow. Which I did notice. Yeah. I did notice that day one, which might just been like the amount of people. Like that genuinely might have just been the problem. I was really never able to look at my dashboard at the start of a round. It would just load forever. So I was actually going to the pairings of the round, pulling those up, and then just doing like a control find for my name.
Yeah.
And finding it off that. But again, smart. Like I think I know people who played in a pre-RK9 world, and like they swear by like RK9 has made everything in like exponentially better. So like I want to give RK9 as much credit as humanly possible, while also being like, this could be improved. Yeah. I think a lot of people will like, I think people in general just like view any criticism of something as I think they're the worst and they should never exist. Like they should actually be excommunicated from the planet. Like they should have to go live on Mars because like someone I know got a round one loss. Like no, we can walk and chew gum at the same time here. Fun fact. Ooh. I can't because I play Bolt, but like that, I think you can.
People can. Yeah. What'd you say?
I said I can't because I play Bolt, but I think you can.
Sometimes.
Like I cannot walk or chew gum. Neither. I actually have to be pushed around in a chair. It's actually a folding chair.
One of those.
It's not even like a wheelchair. No, it's like you have to. It makes a lot of like loud screeching, scraping sounds.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably like one of those rocking chairs.
Yeah. Oh, it's like an old wooden rocking chair from like a porch in like a western. I got my straw hat, my pail that I spit my chew into.
All right, you're grossing me out now.
All right. You know what is really gonna gross you out though? When I tell you about the Friday before the regional. And this actually started on the Thursday before the regional. Thursday night. This was at 8:39. GamingGen tweeted out, hey trainers, due to logistical errors beyond our control, competitor playmats for this event will be player's choice from our available options. We will have limited quantities, so these playmats are first come, first served. We apologize for any inconvenience. And this literally set the community on fire. Like, I think most people had the same take of when we go to an event, we have an expectation for this. I'm expecting a playmat that is either, the current set or the previous set, right? So like for like this event, either a Destined Rivals themed playmat or a Mega Evolution themed playmat. We did not get that. And the thing I really just did not like about this was just any lack of transparency or like accountability. And like just saying due to logistical errors beyond our control. Like, that's not you owning the problem, right? That's not you guys saying like, hey guys, we have just found this out. We are really sorry this happened. And like, nothing. It's just a very template of we apologize for any inconvenience. No solution. No like, hey, if you want to, even if like, hey, look, when we get the correct playmats in, if you guys want to pay for the shipping, we'll send you the playmat. Which I would have done for the record. I would have paid, $15 to get sent the mega playmat, which like also were really cool. I don't know if you saw the one from Belo Horizonte Regional. The Gardevoir looks so cool. Like, it actually looked really cool. As like someone who is not a huge fan of Gardevoir or like the Gardevoir design, like it's just a really good looking playmat.
Yeah, I mean, it was a very corporate response. It's cold.
Yes. Yeah, there's no accountability whatsoever. And then they followed up to this on Friday morning. Hey trainers, sorry for the confusion. To clarify, every competitor will be receiving a promo and a playmat. We will have multiple playmats to choose from. The choice is first come, first served. So, me reading this, when I read this at probably 11:30 at like a random rest stop in Indiana, which, holy shit, there's nothing in Indiana. That state is a flat highway.
But it is a not fun state.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible. We actually stopped in Indiana and like randomly like 15 Pokemon players from Ohio were all at the same rest stop at the exact same time. It was hilarious. But that's not. Stop. Yeah, it was really funny, and you could just tell everyone from Ohio was just like, I haven't seen a building in 100 miles. I just want to make sure the world is still alive or something. It was really funny. So me reading this, I'm thinking, okay, you probably have some like Destined Rival playmats. Like maybe we have like, some Mewtwo's, and then like, maybe we have some Latiases from Surging Sparks, something like that. So we got to the venue around 4:00, and the playmats that were available were the Latias playmat from Surging Sparks, the Terrapagos playmat from Stellar Crown that we got in, I believe that would have been Toronto. The Cinderace playmat we got in Louisville, which for the record was 12 months ago. And then the other one was the Executor playmat that I think that was like, I I think that was like late season. I think that was like was that like around Portland? Because that was the only one I didn't have. The Executor was the only playmat I didn't have. And I went to a regional in September, October, November, February, whatever San Antonio was, January, February, something like that. And then Atlanta in April. So I took the Executor just because that was the only playmat I didn't have. But I also saw a tweet someone sent out of them like saying what was available, and that tweet was sent at like 1 p.m. and the venue I believe opened at either 12 or 1. So you never had the Mewtwo's is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing Mewtwo's never existed in Milwaukee, which is like there's no transparency whatsoever. The Destined Rivals.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The Giovanni and Mewtwo playmat, which I think is actually really clean. I thoroughly like that. I'm like, all right, Mewtwo is a very collected Pokemon. So like, if I think everyone likes Mewtwo. Like no one's like Mewtwo sucks. I feel like.
I mean, Team Rocket is just iconic,
Yeah, it's the Team Rocket. It's Mewtwo. It's a very clean,
yeah, very
good looking playmat. And to not have that at all, I think is insane. And then also, you're purposefully being obtuse here. You're not telling us what's available. You're just saying there will be things available, which is like, come on, man. Like, y'all know what you're doing. Like, you are paid thousands of dollars to run these events. And you can even see here from GamingGen's profile, they are running, or they will be at DreamHack in Atlanta. So you're not like some new company that like doesn't, is just new to the scene and like is still figuring things out. This is also your second year of running events. So like, honestly, after this weekend, I am extremely anti-GamingGen. I think they are literally the worst. I think I was talking with people late Sunday and I was like, this is the first time I don't know if I want to go to a regional. Like I had that bad of an experience to where like, and I went 4-4. So like, I don't think it was like, and it was like, I knew going in, I did not prepare as much as I wanted to. And I was fully aware that like, this probably will not go great for me just because of the world we live in, honestly. Like, and I was like, okay, it is what it is. But like, I flew to Texas for San Antonio to play 4 rounds and hit control decks in 3 of the 4 while playing PokeStop Bolt. So like, that was the least fun I've ever had at an event. And I still was excited to go to events. Like following this.
But the event ran smooth. It was day 2 events.
No, that was still.
Was that day 2?
That was
that GamingGen? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, it was the year before that. It was day 2.
Yeah. Because like I'm just like, this is the first time I've ever walked away from an event being like, I don't know if I want to go to another one with this organizer. And I went with 2 of our locals who, the one, it was his first regional. And the other, it was his first regional since Indy in May of 2024. And both of them were just like, yeah, these guys kind of suck. And just like, like people who are not competitive, who are just like casual Pokemon fans, are not having fun. And like, that's the goal, right? Is to get like, newer players into the scene and get them to enjoy playing Pokemon in like a competitive atmosphere. And it was like, what are we doing, man? Like, what are we really doing here? And I think at this point in the whole timeline of events, I was frustrated, but I wasn't mad yet. Like the playmat thing was kind of dumb. And like they were the 2 guys we went with who don't go to a lot of events, they were genuinely depressed when they found out they weren't going to get like a Destined, like the Mewtwo playmat or like a Mega Evolution playmat. Like they were genuinely like, well, this fucking sucks. Like, why am I even going if I'm not going to, because like for new players, they love these mats. Like these mats really mean something to them. Like it's a real, like, I was there, I was here, I was at that event. Like when they talk about like, like, hey, did you guys see like Tord with that Absol deck? And they're like, I was there, I got the playmat and everything. And now they can't do that. Now they're like, what do you mean? You got a Terrapagos? That's from like Stellar Crown. Like to me, it's really unfortunate.
Yeah, it takes away a lot of like the magic of the event. Like a lot of the uniqueness of each event.
100%.
Like
absolutely.
It like take it. Like there's a sort of like vibe that every event has, and it kind of does start with like the little things that you get introduced to. A lot of it does have to do with what the TO presents as like sort of like your goodie bag options. Like I'll always remember I went to Orlando in 2022, and like I'll always remember that event from like just sort of like one of the first events back from COVID. It was.
Go ahead, I'll be right back.
Okay, yeah. It was just like a lot of what I experienced in that event was brought on by the TO. And Overload Events does a great job. They always did. And I don't even remember what playmat I got. I just know that I played. It was like maybe it was Orlando 23, but it was like Broken Lugia format, just absolutely busted. But I remember, getting my drawstring bag back in the day where they did drawstrings.
Yeah.
So like I got the drawstring bag, and like that's how I was able to like I did like as like back to the game for the first time, and it was my first regional since like I think I went to Indy. I went to what was that? Indy. So it wasn't even a regional. It was the first internets. NAIC.
Yeah.
It was the first NAIC when it was in Indy.
Yep.
Back in like 2017.
Yes.
That was the last time I played in an event that big.
Yeah.
So like
go ahead.
No, it's just like I have a lot of fun memories from that event because it was, again, probably it was the only event that I went to like as a like competitive player back when I thought I wanted to be a competitive player. And then like I quickly gave that up after I went like 0-2, and I was like, I'm not having fun.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't keeping up with the game that intensely, and then like also good cards were expensive back then. Like if you wanted an EX.
Back when Shaman's were like $50.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right, maybe not.
Yeah, I remember Lily's being 40 was like a step up. Like it was hilarious. And now we're like talking about like you could build. I think you can build Jackson Ford's regional winning deck for like $60.
Yeah,
which is like genuinely
hilarious. That was a one of card back then. Yeah, so like it's one of those things. Like
a lot of decks ran like 4. Like that was. I remember like the old Mega Ray Quasi deck ran like 4 Shamans.
Mega Ray,
Mega Mewtwo, which is a perfect segue because my first regional was Roanoke in May of 2017, and the reason I know that is because they stamped it on the playmats. Like they literally put the date and the city it was in, and like I still have this. This is my first regional playmat. And like you didn't just get a mat. We got these deck boxes, which again, I still have the deck box. I got 8 years. Got it. Oh, I'm so old. 8 years ago, at my first regional, at the I guess Roanoke is known as like the Blue Ridge. I don't know. But we got these deck boxes for the Blue Ridge Regional Championships, and like it's a nice it's a deck box. You know what I mean? Like, let's just be honest about what this is. But it's like we got something. We didn't get an old playmat. We didn't get garbage. We weren't given leftovers.
But
and like
Zach,
that,
listen here.
But like that genuinely sparked my like the fire to be a competitive player, to like to want to be seeing like the day 2 people, seeing the competitors in day 2 and the intensity and the passion they had for it. Like I wanted to be one of those people. you know? And like to just see how GamingGen is doing such a horrific job is really disheartening for me. You know? And I think the cherry on top for me of this like genuine like shit Sunday was Friday during the day, I believe. Yeah. Friday at noon, like 12:17. We had another tweet from GamingGen. Hey trainers, in order to assist with traffic flow on Saturday morning, if your start time is 8:30 a.m., please arrive between 6:30 a.m. and 7:30 a.m. Wristband pickup begins at 6:30 a.m. on Saturday. For juniors, seniors, and Go trainers, please aim to arrive after 7:30 a.m. This will help make sure players avoid too much foot traffic when they arrive to start playing on Saturday. Thanks and good luck this weekend, trainers. Doors will be opening shortly. I'm sorry. You being a... Man. I'm really trying to be nice right now. Like, Thad knows how mad I am about this. And like, I'm going at 1% right now of like what I want to say. But how dare you? How dare you? The audacity to tell me that I have to show up. I have to pay $80, which is an increase of 15% from last year, to go to a regional. And then when I get to the regional, I don't even get the current promo. I don't even get the current map that another regional in this continent has. Because it's apparently logistical issues, but they didn't have any logistical issues. Only you had logistical issues. So if you're going to sit there and you're going to tell me that I need to show up early because you are objectively terrible at your job, I'm sorry, but we've lost the plot. You can kick rocks. Like you can go ahead and sit on a telephone pole for me there if you think that's going to happen. And I remember I was pissed. I was driving and I'm just like, I started just like gripping the steering wheel as hard as I could because I wanted to literally punch someone. Like I was so pissed. And I was sitting next to a guy who like I've known for years and like has been in the Pokemon scene for like 15 years. And he started laughing. He genuinely cracked up. Like just because like, you know, this is a guy who has seen what good tournaments look like, who has seen what good TOs look like, who has been around long enough to know what garbage we have right now. And it's garbage. I'm going to be honest. GamingGen is a garbage TO. They are trash. They are terrible at their job. And as someone who has worked in the event industry, who like this was my job for 5 years, I know they're cutting corners where they should not be cutting corners. Like everyone, I think we always look at these like, you know, like late on Saturday and on Sunday, the bathrooms are unmaintained. The trash cans are overflowing. Half the sinks are out of soap. You know, that is not entirely on the venue. The venue says ex-employee costs this much an hour. How many X's would you like for your event? You know, and they'll tell you like, okay, you're expecting 3,000 people. You should have this many people, this many security, so we can get things moving quickly. If you are choosing to cut those corners, you don't then get to play the victim and tell me to show up 2 hours early. And like, let's just, you know, let's be honest about this, right? So I pay $80 to go to the event. I'm then paying at least $100 for a hotel. Minimum. Okay. Now we're up to 180. And then let's figure out gas, tolls, parking. You know, I think we actually, for our group, I did this last night and it came out to roughly $60 a person. Okay. And there were 4 people. So we tried to save as much as we could along the way. Okay. We're up to 240. Well, you got to eat, right? You got to eat Friday, got to eat Saturday, got to eat Sunday. let's assume $40 a day. So another 120. We're up to $360 to attend a regional. And that is before we even talk about like missing a day at work.
Cards.
The cost of the cards, the cost of sleeves, the cost of a deck box, your
logistical
time.
costs.
Yeah, for sure. You gotta. I always go with 2 extra boxes of sleeves. So that's $25. And then if you gotta buy cards at the venue, they're gonna charge a huge upcharge on that. The wear and tear on your vehicle for driving. For me it was 1,000 miles round trip. And you're going to tell me I got to show up 2 hours early.
Just because you want to be cheap. Control.
Because you want to be cheap. Let's call a spade here. Because you want to min-max your money. Because I'm sure, and I have no information on this, so I am completely speaking off of my own gut here. Pokemon is paying you X dollars to throw the event. So then you are thinking, okay, if I get X. If X minus Y equals Z, X is the amount Pokemon pays me, Y is how much I have to pay to throw the event, Z is my profit. I get it. You want that Y to be as small as possible. I get it. I totally understand it. But you don't get to make my experience worse so you can make more money. If GamingGen is watching this, and they probably won't. I'll be honest about that. If you're watching this and you're like, well, we're not making enough money, then don't do the events. Then tell Pokemon, you know what? The PokeStop Podcast was really mean to us. And we don't want to do events anymore. Good. Let someone who wants to do this right do this.
I mean, the other question really just then becomes like, all right, let's pretend like these events are not cheap to put on. We know this. You've worked in event planning. You understand these events are, probably in the ballpark figure between $500,000 and $1 million. Right. Let's just say that's what it is. Let's say on the upside, it's $1 million to get everything set up and right. Pokemon is giving them a good amount of money to do this.
They would not be doing this if they weren't making money. Right? Like, this is a business.
Yeah, TPCI definitely knows that they're kind of...
This ain't a charity. Like...
Well, TPCI knows they're going to lose money on it. Like, TPCI themselves...
Sure.
Like, as the entity, they know they're going to lose money on it. I think that's just, like, a given when you have, like, a tournament. You're kind of hoping to make money on the back end, kind of like a car dealership, right? Like, you're selling the car for maybe at MSRP or at a loss, and then you're kind of hoping to get that customer back for a service time and time again. TPCI is like, okay, I know you're going to be contributing to buying cards, to buying plushies, to buying stuff from the Pokemon Center, which is probably why they introduced the new regional store or whatever.
Yeah.
To help recoup some costs, right? Because people love swag and people are weird. So like I'm imagining that's like integrated into this. But when you look at just Masters Division people who played, if you don't think GamingGen is just charging you $80 to just charge you $80, I think you're kind of kidding yourself.
Yeah.
Like it's an arbitrary number. Like it could be less, it could be more. And it's just essentially to like for them to recoup like intangible costs. So like judges, staffing, stuff that the Pokemon company is probably not going to reimburse for. And if you think it's going to cost $184,000 to cover judges, I think you're way outside your bounds there. It's maybe 50 to 100,000 at most.
Yeah, 100%.
To pay for judging and staff. There's not that many judges. Let's just be honest. We all know there could be more judges.
I wish there were more.
And plenty of judges apply.
Yeah. Yeah, I know a few judges in my area who have staffed regionals before, and they have applied to I believe they have now applied to Pittsburgh, Milwaukee, and Vegas, and were not given any of them. They were not chosen for any of those events. So there are judges being turned down who have the experience. So it's not even like they're new and we don't, we can't just put in a new judge in like this environment without like some kind of like supervision, which like sure, but like also like, they're a judge. They understand the penalty if you draw an extra card off Iono. Like,
yeah.
They understand you put out 6 prize cards when you start a game. Like there's like, and like, pretty much anytime you go to a regional, if a judge call happens, that floor judge gets the information, then takes it to a higher up judge. And then at that point, they probably are like, okay, got Iono to 5, he drew 6 cards. That's a double prize penalty. You drew a card when you shouldn't have. Like that's a penalty. Yeah, sure. Sounds great. Like you can't tell me that any judge who has been judging for more than 20 seconds can't do that. Like I'm sorry, that's just not how that's not how reality works. Right? Like
no.
Like I don't know what you want. I don't know what the expectation is. And like I had people on Twitter being like, "Well, you should put in a support ticket." Do you think I have it? Do you think I'm over here like, "Oh, I'm just going to complain on Twitter and then they'll get fixed," right? Just like instantly. That's how that works, right? You just like complain and everything changes immediately. That's how this works, right? Like Mr. Poke, like the CEO of like TPCI is like scrolling my Twitter feed, right? Like that's how that works.
This isn't your mom's house.
Yeah, like I'm like, come on, man. Like, and that's also just like that's such bad faith. Also, to just be like, well, you should just you should file a complaint. And I'm like, I shouldn't have to complain. We have been doing events. The first World Championship was 20 years ago. We know how to throw events. We've been around long enough as a community to know how to throw events. Like, we have. Like, that's just reality, right? Like,
not my reality.
Apparently. But like, just like to be here and be like, well, they're doing their best. I'm like, they're not. We're not doing. If this is your best, it's time to go on Indeed, brother, because this ain't for you. I don't know. Like, if I'm a rocket scientist and like I can't figure out how to make a rocket go, I'm probably not a good rocket scientist, and maybe I shouldn't be a rocket scientist anymore. Maybe I should like go get a new job, because clearly this rocket thing is not working out for me.
No, maybe you just go be an engineer.
Maybe I'll go run GamingGen. Like, fuck it. They apparently need the help. But it's just like, it's so insane to me that like we're having this conversation after, GamingGen has been the TO for North American events for, what are we at now? Like 16 months? And we can't figure this out. Like, this is insane. This is honestly absurd. That like we can't figure this out.
There's really not. It doesn't seem like much is going to change though either, which is.
I don't think so either, and I think we're going to have this conversation again. Probably that episode. If y'all want to bookmark it now, let's see. Toronto regionals are what is that? The 24th? Or is it the 17th?
No. Toronto is
It's January.
January 17th, yeah.
17th. All right. So that episode will come out let's see. That'll be January 23rd, 2026. Let's schedule that episode to come out. I think like 10:42 a.m. I think that makes sense. So we can have this conversation again. And I'm excited to have it, And I can't wait for Twitter to tell me that I should file a support ticket. So then we can bring up this, let's see. We can bring up the podcast we recorded on October 16th. We can have this conversation again.
File a support ticket.
Did you file a support ticket though, Thad? I'm
pretend I'm not brain dead.
Yeah, pretend I've been in the Pokemon community for more than 5 seconds. And like I'm being told this by people who've been in the community less time than me. Like I've been sending in support tickets since before you had a player ID, brother. Like maybe just back up.
My day.
Literally. Like, I don't know, man. Like, yeah, I did file a support ticket. What now?
Got Unc Zach Pra in the chat.
Yeah, I'm just like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm just being honest here. Like, let's just be serious about what we're doing and not like, I don't know. Let's just not bullshit.
Ooh.
Let's just not bullshit people about it. Like, I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't think
I
that's asking
people
too
that
much.
I would be unserious.
Ooh.
So
Yeah, that's actually true. I'm being serious right now. We might be chalked.
yeah, honestly, you being serious is like the last thing people want.
The worst thing that could have happened to this podcast is me being serious.
Honestly,
you know,
last
and
we
we haven't even talked about like decks in the current format. I mean, I've spent 30 minutes complaining about GamingGen. And I could do
decks
it for
in the
30
current
more.
format are pretty cooked.
Especially when you got to show up at 6:30 in the morning.
I mean, my brain is cooked right now, and it is 2:00. So extrapolate that. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, literally. Oh my god. Yeah. I hate just like being mad about things that I can't change, but like I also can't just like I don't have the ability to like pretend things are fine. You know?
You can't
like,
just roll over and be a dog about it.
Yeah, like I can't just like be like, "Oh, everything's fine. I don't know what you're talking about. Everything was wonderful." And if you don't think that, then you're an idiot.
Yeah, that'd be disingenuous, some say.
Yeah, and like I don't know, man. Like honestly, if you're over here and you're like, I really wish you would just lie to me and make everything feel better. This ain't the place for you, brother. Sorry. I don't know. I've also
Yeah.
I never want to be a person who is just like lying to people for the sake of like I don't want people to be sad.
There's a term for that. It's like I don't know. I'll post it somewhere, I'm sure. But there's a term just to like help maintain happiness versus dealing with reality. I think it's called psychosis.
Something like that. The last thing I do want to talk about, though, just to wrap up the Milwaukee conversation, is some of these conversion rates were kind of crazy. The Mega Absol deck, and I remember like on Saturday we were talking about this, and like it was like, you know, it seemed like most people playing this deck are very good players, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, I mean, just like some of the top names playing this deck. I'm gonna butcher his last name, so I'm not even gonna try. Hale, who got top 4.
Hale,
Xander Pero.
Obernolte,
yeah, I never would have gotten that. Xander Pero, Tord Reklev, Ryuki Okada, John Eng, Kenny Pakala, Riley Hulbert, Jesper Erickson, Rahul Reddy. You know, like just some of the biggest names in the community like played this deck. And like a lot of them did really well. Like
I mean, there were 51 total players on it, a conversion rate of about 60%.
There were 51 people in day 1 with it. 26 of them made day 2, so a 51% conversion rate, which is unheard of. The next closest conversion rate with a deck with, I'm going to say with at least 40 decks in day 2 was Django, which had 26%. Which I think Django also was like a sneaky good play for this tournament. Honestly.
Sneaky good play? You know what a sneaky good play would have been? Raging Bolts.
Lugia Beast. Lugia would have cooked his tournament, though.
Just dodging the Guardies.
Yeah, but like I just don't think this was the tournament you try to dodge Guardy.
I mean, maybe not, but
You know what I mean? Like, I just don't think this is the one.
maybe
Um,
not.
I don't know. That's just me. I definitely was in the just dodge Guardy for Pittsburgh, and like that went well for me. But I just don't think you were doing it this time. I think there was
I
too much
mean,
Guardy. You
yeah,
know,
probably.
I mean, between regular Guardy and Guardy Jelly, it's like 15%. It's over 15%
Yeah.
actually. But yeah, like that's just like you're gonna hit multiple. And I think I played 2 or 3. I did beat both of them. My only losses were an Absol deck, which like going in, I was just like my list was just like we lose to control and we should beat everything else. And I played 3 control decks. So very cool, very cool. Losing control is super fun. I actually love wall decks. I think I'm gonna start playing wall decks.
I think it's neat.
Honestly.
Honestly, I think you sent me the list, right? The Roaring Moon list.
Yes. Yeah.
Sneaky good right now, honestly.
Yeah,
Sneaky
just with
good.
all the megas that are running around, like a deck that can just delete. And like
You kind of have like the best of both worlds, right? You have a good single price attacker in Baby Moon. You have good weakness, right? You're hitting in. It's just dark deck into not
it's got a
dark deck.
relevant weakness. Yeah.
Yeah, and
It
you
has a
got
very good weakness to have right now.
and you have the baby Petron, which actually is a reasonable attacker. You can even buy turns with it because its first attack does stall.
Yeah.
It is a retreat locker, so you can sort of buy some time if you need to. And it deals with the setup decks really well because they get knocked out to poison and not damage. So you're just prohibiting draws. Low key, sneaky, good play.
Yeah. It's my only issue with that deck is I played a handful of games since this weekend with it. And it just feels like a deck that if you don't, it feels like Ledge in the way like if you don't have a really good start, you just lose.
Listen, you're talking to a Lugia player.
I know.
You win or lose. You win or lose in 3 turns. It's just the way it is. It's the way it goes.
It's like it's insane. I've always hated those decks. Decks
I
that
need
just
to
like
have my
win or
game to.
lose on the first 5 seconds. I'm just like I'm good.
If I'm going to regional, I like. Here's the thing. I don't want to waste time. I'm either going to win or lose in the first 3 turns. If I'm going to win, great. If I'm going to lose, great. I want to recognize it. I'm going to scoop it up. I'm going to go to the next game.
Have you ever heard of Raging Bolt?
Yeah, I don't like it.
I'm sorry. Who are you? All right, I need a new podcast co-host.
It's fine. It's a fine deck.
Must love Bolt.
You'll never find another co-host.
I'll find one. There's one guy down there.
Yeah, it'll be you talking to the camera in a mirror.
I'll just like I'll pre-record my reactions, just like put on like a wig.
Yeah, you'll do a lot of work for sure. It'll just look crazy, like your Pokemon Schizo posting.
Oh my god! I'll just feel like I'll make like a new Twitter and just like repost all my tweets and just be like, "Wow, this Zach Pro guy's a fucking genius, man! Holy shit!"
He loves Raging Bolt. He said Raging Bolt's the best play for this weekend.
Guy
Meanwhile,
is
Guardy's
obsessed.
50% of the meta.
Yeah, literally. Like Bolt rotates and you're just like, nah, man, Bolt's great. I love expanded. Let me ask you this, just because like you, I wasn't at home to watch the broadcast. How did you feel about the broadcast team? Because I thought this was like, looking at it on paper, like this was like I think one of the best TCG broadcast teams we've had in a long time.
Yeah, I'm not gonna shit on anyone in particular. I mean, there is one of the casters who I just didn't really care for. But otherwise, like the casting crew is incredible.
Yeah.
Honestly, the production of these things just gets better and better.
Yeah.
Like you can tell they actually like care and put time and effort into it. The graphics, the numbers they can produce, the casters themselves actually doing a great job of like directing the games, giving color commentary while also directing what's going on. It's nice to have people like I'll just give the obvious shout out to Chip and Azul.
Man, they were
like they have
on the way back. We watched like top 8, top 8, top 4, and finals, and it was them together was a phenomenal duo. Like I think, honestly, if I'm Pokemon, I think I'm like, yo, Azul, you want to quit playing and just cast? Like I thought he did phenomenal. I think, like definitely like some like first time caster things that I'm sure he'll work on and he'll work out and they'll work with him and like and I'm sure him and Chip can figure that out very quickly. And like he seems like a very charismatic person, a very intelligent person. So I think like for him, I thought he did great. I think he offers really good insight into the game. Obviously, as someone who has like a limitless page that you probably have to read more like 3 times to see.
Yeah.
I thought he did phenomenal. I cannot, and I was a little concerned. Like, would he be very uncomfortable in front of the camera? Like, yeah, he's a streamer, but like, being a caster and being a streamer are 2 very different things. Like, it's two very different skill sets. Yeah, like this is a scripted broadcast versus like my Twitch stream from my bedroom. Like it's just, it's a different animal. And I think he really rose to the occasion.
Yeah, it's nice because like when I watch streams for like other games and like I just don't know what's going on and like there's just someone like talking about really technical aspects of the game, right? Like the casters will do that. Like if I watch like a Magic tournament and I'm like, I don't know what this card does, and why are you talking about the interactions that it has and not what it does because I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
Whereas like Azul does that, but then he has a compliment of Chip who like gives like the more broad views of like what's going on the board, and then you have Azul going into like the each individual tracks that a player can take. So it was nice because it felt like it was really like new player friendly to watch.
Yeah.
Like if I'm like new to the game, I'm catching up. I feel like I have a good idea what's going on. Whereas like before, you really didn't have that kind of dynamic where like you have a trusted source of like this is what the game state could look like, and this is what the game state is. And I think they complement each other really well in that way.
Yeah, I agree, 100%.
It's sort of like what you get with like the Sable House Pedro.
Yeah, like I think like those. I think at this point it's less about like finding talent and more like finding duos. Like I think like Pablo and Kyle are a phenomenal duo. Also, I have never seen Kyle Sablehouse in person. I don't know how. Man, he is a lot shorter than I thought he would be. Like
he
on
lost
broadcast,
a lot of weight.
He did. Yeah, I remember that. I remember just like you see him on camera, and I feel like the camera, like you said, like the joke is like the camera adds like 15 pounds. I feel like the camera adds like 15 inches. Like I just always view people as like 6'6". And like maybe it's just because like I'm also a very tall person. Like maybe I just like assume everyone's like at the same like height as me. And then like you see it and I'm like, oh, you're a lot shorter than I expected. And it's just weird, like seeing like these people you like, you see them on camera all the time, and like you know what they think about like certain decks, and I think you see them in person, it's like, man, you're really short.
It's really funny. I played at the same table as him in Charlotte in like 2024 or 2023, one of the two, and it was just so funny to like sit like diagonal from him and like be like,
yeah,
what?
Yeah, you're like,
sure.
Hey there. Yeah. No, it was it's always really cool to go to regionals too, just because like you see like like always like the Saturday and especially on Sunday, a lot of the casters they'll just like walk around the top tables at day 2 and just like see what everyone's playing, like see how people are doing, and it's really cool just to see like the people you see on the broadcast, like then walking around and like being very involved in the tournament, which is really cool. And they're not just like separated behind a curtain, like being a caster. They're also like getting very involved, like taking pictures with people, you know, and they're all very approachable as well. Like I Friday after we like checked in, got everything done. We were just walking around the convention center, and Chip Ritchie was just, you know, just walking around, and some random person walked up to Chip and like asked for a photo, and he was very, you know, very polite, very like, oh, of course, like no problem at all, you know. And I really appreciate that when like people who are figures in a very large community like Pokemon like are also very approachable and like are very like kind to other people, and they don't, you know, they don't act weird about it. They're just like, yeah, this is a fan, like let me be normal, let me be like,
it's
funny,
funny,
let me make this person's day.
Yeah, it's funny because Pokemon, like the TCG like competitive aspect of it, is both large and small. Like
Yeah,
it's large, like because there are a lot of people that go to these things and like are in like the game, but it's so small in comparison to like most other card games.
mm-hmm.
Like even to like if you were to compare it to like esports in general, like some of like these fighting game like you go to like a Street Fighter event or like a Smash Brothers event, or you know, you're looking at like close to 10,000 people.
Yeah,
And like this is nothing compared to that, but it's really cool to see someone like come down to like not come down, but like be at the level of everybody else, you know, just like owns the fact that this is just like kind of a tight knit community.
yeah, I would agree with that 100%. Like I think most people in the community are very approachable and like are very nice and very kind individuals.
Except for
like,
Zach Pro.
That's true. That guy's a fucking piece of shit. Just yells about GamingGen the entire episode. Like, hey man, there's other things going on besides GamingGen. There's not, actually.
Just ask him, he'll tell you.
Literally. He's literally the worst. He just yells about Raging Bolt. And I just asked him how his day was going. It's really weird. This guy is obsessed with himself. I don't get it. Just walks around saying, have you ever heard about Lord and Savior Raging Bolt?
And then pulls out his back pocket like a weirdo.
Yeah, he has like, it's really weird. It's like folded in half, and there's like a crease line, and the edges have like started disintegrating because all he does is play that deck.
He has to get a whole new deck every like 3 months.
I don't buy new cars. I buy new sleeves.
It's like tires on a NASCAR.
Yeah, I got a guy with a torch in the back getting ready to burn all the rubber off. Oh man. I think that's all we got for this week, though. Unless you want to tell anyone else why Raging Bolt's the greatest deck of all time.
I would never say that out loud to anybody in the history of mankind.
It's okay. You don't have to lie to people. That's fine. It's fine. I get it. But I want to thank everyone for watching. I know today was a little more of a serious episode because GamingGen sucks. But I appreciate y'all watching. It's also crazy that we are like around the corner from Phantasmal Flames. And Mega Evolution it's been less than a week since Mega Evolution came out, and we're already talking about pre-releases now.
About a month away.
It's
less than a month.
It's crazy. But we will see y'all next week on the PokeStop Podcast. Again, thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and do all that stuff. We will see y'all on the next one.
Later.